This is E-Commerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward Unlimited. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 46 of E-Commerce Uncensored. I'm Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
I almost said your name first by accident. That should never happen.
Be me. I always knew you wanted to be me.
I just spilled my water all over.
It's alright, it'll dry.
Anyway, this episode we're going to give you guys a update on our new e-commerce store. For those of you who don't know, who are tuning in for the first time, Jason and I, a couple months ago, decided that we would launch our own e-commerce store to really get in the thick of things and get in touch with all the moving parts of a store. I mean, we're not that familiar with actually running an e-commerce store. We have a list of clients that we market for. We run Facebook ads and email for them. So we really wanted to get into it and just see the ins and outs of actually running the store. So we, about a month ago, we launched a camping store where we're selling camping type products, and we're going to start running some Facebook ads, and we actually did that, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So we actually set up the store to be a drop shipping store, and we used AliExpress. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out our previous episodes, episode I think 44 and 42. We pretty much go every other week. We talk about, give you guys an update on our store. So we actually launched our first product, which was a hanging outdoor waterproof light, and we decided to create a free plus shipping campaign using Facebook ads. And we're just going to give you an update on what we found over the last 2 or 3 weeks where we were running the ad, and just give you an idea of how everything works.
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, this product was selling at some point on Facebook. So in a previous episode, we said that we wanted to sell a product that we knew people were buying so that we didn't have to worry about whether or not there was demand for the product. Now, that can mean a couple things. That could mean that, the product could be seasonal, so it could have been selling at some point, and then the seasons change, and now it doesn't sell. But we knew at some point people wanted this product, and that was like our first kind of goal, was to pick a product that we knew had sold before. There's a couple advantages to that. For one, we'll go over the results of our first campaign, but for one, we know that there is a way to sell it. It's just a matter of coming up with the right message in front of the right people. But the first part of this is that we know people were buying it. And any success or lack of success is going to be completely reflective of the job that we did to promote it.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who have listened to us before, we talk a lot about that. A lot about doing research and finding products that sell online before you just dive into them and just decide, hey, I'm going to sell this product. So Jason did that. He went through and he did a lot of research, and he found this specific product that was actually selling on Facebook. So that's kind of where we decided to start. And we also found a product that kind of had the right price point that we could offer free plus shipping that made sense, using AliExpress and drop shipping it from China at a reasonable cost. So if we acquired a customer for a reasonable amount of money, it would make sense in the long run. And we just want to go over that initial setup, because we've talked about the setup of the website already, and now we're going to dive into the Facebook ads. And the first part that I just want to touch on real quick, and we talked about this in other podcasts previously, is setting up your website so the Facebook pixel can learn, because that's a really big part of this, is because you can really let your Facebook pixel do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes down to all this, and we'll talk more about that once we start talking about the types of campaigns we ran. But we want to just make sure that if you guys are following along with this and kind of and launching your own store, make sure your Facebook pixel is in place.
Yeah, and Facebook, it seems like monthly or every couple of months make it easier and easier for the pixel itself to be configured properly. For example, if you're using a Shopify, or if you have a Shopify store, you literally just have to put, copy and paste the pixel ID into the store, and Facebook and Shopify do the rest. So it'll create all your purchase conversions, your cart people that are visiting the cart. It comes up with all these different conversions, and you literally don't have to do anything. So getting that set up really is the most important part. I mean, we are we're also learning, and I think part of the learning process or the learning curve is that it's changing so often. Before, targeting on Facebook was like really, really, ninja, so to speak. At least that's what the gurus wanted you to think. Nowadays, like, targeting is really, quite simple. Just get, an audience that is like resembles your target market, and Facebook will literally do the rest of the work, or will do the work for you. So, setting up the pixel, which is easier than ever, is the number one thing to do.
Yeah, and the conversions that Jason said that Shopify sets up for you, the interaction between Shopify and Facebook really and the pixel is that Facebook will set up these predetermined conversions for purchase events, add to cart, initiate checkout, view content, all those, standard events that'll happen on your site. And you have to have those things in place before you start. So if you're not using Shopify, make sure that you have those custom conversions set up, because as Jason said, Facebook gets smarter, and the targeting that you use can be broader because Facebook is going to optimize it on its own. It's going to optimize the ad based on the conversions you want to get.
Yeah, and one other thing that maybe a little bit off topic, but it's not. We're seeing a lot of changes with Facebook. Like, we used to run an ad, and if it didn't work within like the first 24 hours, we would turn it off. Like 24 to 48 hours, we would turn it off. But what we're seeing now is like almost like 2 weeks you have to run an ad. And I think that's part of the challenge, right? If you're a new business and you don't have any money, just spending $500 for Facebook to optimize your ad may be a burden. But really what we're seeing, like, across all of our clients and even the stuff that we're doing, like, it's starting to seem like you have to give the ad a lot more time because Facebook is doing the optimization and you're really not. And we're definitely seeing that the longer you can let something run, the better Facebook gets, the better your results become. And then once you got that ad that's working, you can start scaling it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about it, but you got to teach Facebook, and you got to allow Facebook to learn, because if you start an ad in Facebook that the objective is conversions, let's say you want to drive an ad that will drive purchases to your website.
So if you've done Facebook ads before,
Right.
You know that there are different objectives for the ads. There's like clicks to website, there is conversion. So basically, they'll optimize the ad for a certain event. Conversions, clicks, video views, whatever.
Right, whatever that may be, or whatever your goal is. Let's just say for this example, we're doing conversions, and we want Facebook to optimize the ad for people who are going to purchase our light. In order for Facebook to optimize, they need to know the type of person that's going to purchase this light, right? So right out of the gate, Facebook's not going to, it's basically guessing at the front end of this thing. And then as the thing runs, and as you get these purchases and these conversions coming through, Facebook is going to be able to narrow down that audience. It's going to match those people who have purchased with other people that are just like them.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed in there, Kev, but I saw it a few months ago, and then I kind of stopped seeing it, but then I saw it again. Facebook is now, if you set your ad up for conversions and you don't have any conversions, it says since you don't have any conversions, we're going to optimize for clicks first and then switch over to conversions. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so at the bottom, if you do a conversion ad and you don't have any conversions, it basically tells you Facebook will optimize for clicks and then we'll switch over to conversions. So things are changing quite rapidly. Take a look at that. It's pretty awesome.
That's interesting because that's always been kind of the starting strategy for a lot of the campaigns we do, and that's kind of where we started with this light. Not kind of. That's actually where we started with this campaign. We started with a Facebook ad that was optimized for clicks. So basically, tell Facebook, I want to get as many people to my landing page as I possibly can. Go out there, find the people who are most likely to click on my ad. And that's where we started. So we created a simple image ad, and that had some copy. I think you wrote, I'll just give you an example of what we wrote. We wrote back in stock in the front. And the first line of the copy was back in stock. That gave you some sense of urgency, gave the customer a sense of urgency. And then the second part of it was just a little bit of information about the product itself.
Yeah, waterproof, whatever. It was very simple. We did have multiple images as well, and we did test for multiple demographics, and we basically used a tool called Ad Espresso, which is a pretty cool tool that allows you to quickly create ads and allows you to test them pretty quickly. It's about $50 a month. They give you a 14-day free trial. There are some things about it we don't love. We won't go too much into that, but there are some options in Facebook that Ad Espresso doesn't give you. But what we do is we'll create the ad in Ad Espresso, and then we'll go into Facebook and change some of the features that we're looking for. Right in Facebook so that we can get it perfectly. But that's another conversation.
I mean, if you're familiar with Facebook ads and you've been running them, you'll know that it's a little time consuming on the Facebook side to create multiple variations and multiple audiences in Facebook. What Ad Espresso allows you to do is create one set of ads with multiple audiences and actually multiple images and multiple headlines and multiple text. And what Ad Espresso does is it allows you to test. It breaks up the ads essentially. So you can test mobile versus desktop. You can and then break that up into different audiences. It just gives you a lot of different variations, and it syncs right up to your Facebook page. So it'll push these ads sets to your Facebook ad account. So It's a really good way to get it out there. And then you can, if you want, you can either work in Ad Espresso or you can go over to the Facebook side, which we like to do.
We like to work in Facebook.
Yeah.
But Ad Espresso, there's no denying that if you want to test and look for a market, it's so easy, it's so fast, and we definitely recommend it. Now, when you start a objective for clicks, you can expect to get clicks at a pretty low price, whether it's 20 cents, 50 cents, 70 cents. The clicks will usually be low. The downside is that the people who click are not generally people who buy. But again, we're training that pixel to learn who's going to be interested in the product. So the idea is that the clicks ad, the ad that is the objective for clicks, will get low clicks, but there's a good chance you're not going to get a lot of conversions. And that was actually our experience as well. I think we only got six orders.
Yeah, we got 5 or 6 orders. I mean, I think our goal for that first ad was to just see if people were interested, because if we're not able to get clicks at an optimized for clicks level for Facebook, then it's kind of our chances of actually getting conversions at a conversion optimized ad is kind of low. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I mean, if people aren't clicking, that there's a bigger problem there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting above $1 clicks, you're probably
even at $1. I think we depending on the product, actually, if the product is a high ticket product or a higher ticket, you can pay more for the click. But if you're getting anything over $1, like Kevin said, we wouldn't even.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting, I think, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but we were getting high click-through rates. So we were getting 2 to 3 to 4% click-through rate, which was really positive for us. We were excited about it. We were seeing the interest. It's just, again, we weren't getting the conversions that we wanted. So we then decided to move over and just switch the ad. Well, you don't just switch it. We created a new campaign out of Ad Espresso that was optimized for conversions. So we wanted Facebook to go out there and find the people who are most likely to purchase. And we decided to split the ad sets up into audiences: camping, camping world, and a hiking and camping buying behavior.
And that actually proved to work. When we did it, we were getting a lot more conversions than we were with clicks. But then, we don't know if this was like a Labor Day thing, because it was kind of like right before Labor Day. Our orders just kind of died.
Yeah, we were spending. In Ad Espresso, I told it to spend $45 and then split that up amongst 6 different audiences. Or no, I'm sorry, 3 different audiences, and then each one of those audiences were then split up into mobile and desktop. And I ran it for one day and I think I got 6 purchases in one day. And actually, a couple of them, some people bought 2. Which, at that point makes it profitable. So we were at like a $2 to $3 per conversion, result, which is really right where we wanted to be. So what I did was I went in and I narrowed it down to the one audience, the one ad set that was working, and I turned off all the other ones, and I had the one going, and I actually increased. And I'll explain my point in a minute because we just talked about this earlier. I increased the budget in the one ad set, and then things just kind of shut down.
What did you increase it by?
I doubled it.
Yeah,
I went from $7.50 a day to $15 a day.
Yeah, and that seems to be a problem. That's increasing the budget too quickly. We have a few other clients that I've been increasing by, like $10. So we were spending $40 a day or whatever it was. Then I went to $50 a day. Then I went to $60 a day. Doubling it like that probably has a little something to do with it. I don't know that Facebook really likes that, but we'll see. Is it still running? I don't even know if it's running.
I actually turned it off for Labor Day because the Labor Day weekend was a little bit, no one was doing anything. No one was buying. Time. So it's a very, scaling Facebook ads is a very touchy situation because you have an ad running that's working, and then you change a little bit. Facebook then has to recalculate their algorithm.
Yeah, and it's funny because, if you're spending $7.50 on a campaign or, on an ad, in your mind, you're like, double it. It's, it's only $15, but that's like a big change for Facebook, right? Like it goes from showing your ad a certain percentage of time to like doubling that, and it kind of throws things out of whack. So it's not so much the dollar amount, I think, as it is the percentage of increase. So, and I don't know this for sure. I mean, we've been very cautious about scaling other campaigns because of this, and we've quite frankly had a hard time really scaling our clients because, number one, you have to do it slowly.
Yeah.
And number two, it's sometimes hard to start scaling if you're not quite breaking even or you're not quite profitable. So, but you have to do it.
Yeah, and we've actually noticed, like, even we have a really successful ad going for a client of ours, and we're in the process of scaling it very slowly. And even when we scale it, $10, like they're spending $50 a day.
Now they're up to $60.
They're spending $60 a day. We up it $10 every time or around that, and then
24 hours.
You notice the activity stops. It's really strange. It's like I don't know what's going on in the background, but Facebook is going through its thing and needs to recalculate and figure out how it's going to use that budget.
Yeah, and last time we increased it by $10, it took 24 hours.
But eventually it just
picked up. Yeah. And then we consistently were making X amount of sales, and then yesterday, in hindsight, I probably will scale on weekends from now on because I think weekends are generally slower anyway for the most part. So, but yeah, I mean, again, it's just, and the other thing is like, it's different for some people. It works one way. For other people, it works another way. So it's just tricky. You just gotta really pay attention to it.
Yeah, and be patient. And I'm guilty of that. I'm not.
Well, $7.50 to $15 doesn't seem like such a big deal, but you got to remember, you're doubling the spend. I mean, it's But anyway,
you got to be careful with that.
Going on tangents here a little bit, but
so one last thing, that we've dealt with is that we've never used AliExpress before. We know that it's been a very successful platform that people have used. So we decided to start there to test and see what products would sell. We ordered this product as a test August 9th.
So
and
almost exactly a month.
Today is September 6th? 6th? 5th? Today's September 6th.
My son's birthday's in 2 days, and I didn't even know that.
And we still have not received the product.
Which is a problem for us.
That's like almost 30 days out. So, I mean, AliExpress does tell you 20 to 39 days actually for this product, but it's kind of getting a little bit uncomfortable, the fact that our customers aren't going to be receiving their product for maybe possibly 40 days out. So I think maybe the next go around we're going to have to maybe be a little bit more careful at the products we pick, because there are some products on AliExpress that you can spend a couple extra bucks to actually get a little bit faster shipping time. So I think definitely, probably in our next podcast, we'll have a little bit more information on maybe some other products that we've tested by then.
No, that's wrong. The next podcast is going to be about email.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And
after that,
the next store update podcast we're going to talk about. So
yeah, and this is also another perfect example of why you don't. Now, wait, I should say, we haven't given up on this. This is the first one that we've tried. I mean, we're waiting for the product to come in. We want to create a video because we obviously couldn't, because we didn't have the product. So that's going to be our next step. We're going to create a video ad and see what happens with that. But this is the whole chicken before the egg type scenario. Like, if we would have spent $1,000 and brought these lights in like Kevin wanted to do, we've probably would have been looking at ourselves like, oh, really? Should we have done this?
We can light up a lot of things.
We can light up a lot of things. But that's, again, we mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts. I have no idea which one. But, if you can help it, try not to create the product until you know people are going to buy it. Or don't buy the product, buy inventory. Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Unless you have people buying it already. Because it's so much harder to try to force people to buy something that they don't want. And this is like a perfect example, Yes, we made about 10 sales.
I think 14, I think, total.
14 sales.
A couple had 2 lights in it.
Yeah, so 14.
I was ready to, I remember about 2 weeks ago, we had our first couple orders, and I was ready. I was ready to buy inventory.
Yeah.
Let's get it over to the States so we can start selling it.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, so this was our first go at it. We had some sales. It's not exactly where we'd like it to be. I mean, this ad, I wouldn't call this ad really overly successful. I do have a little bit of a hunch that a video ad is going to work better. When I watch videos on Facebook, they just make you want the product. Mm-hmm. Where an image is, all right, it's okay. But like if you have a video of using the product, how cool it is, putting it in water, turning it on, turning it off, maybe having the lights off in water and then turning the light on and showing it on underwater, that just kind of makes you want the product. So that's going to be our next thing. When we get these lights, we're going to create a video and we will report on that. But this was our first go at it. We didn't really expect too much with just an image ad, but we wanted to report sort of where we were.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much. It's been episode 46 of E-Commerce Uncensored. You guys can check out all the podcast notes at ecommerceuncensored.com. Thank you guys so much.
Later.